shots are fired from the other side. Listen.
Oh! Oh my God! Oh! Oh!
Just absolutely shocking and really incredible that this unfolded earlier today inside the Capitol building. This was during a security breach. You saw that
they want to
person
arrest
fall
black
to the ground,
folks
and we heard
for
about
smoking
that
cigarettes.
one person who was injured inside the building.
Where's the police with all
this?
this?
The same individual who was shot earlier today in the chest or neck. We haven't gotten confirmation regarding that, but that woman was last listed in critical condition. This again gives you a closer look at some of the violence that unfolded. And you know, these demonstrations, Lou and Glenn, they started out peaceful. They started out yesterday. Of course, a much larger turnout today. But this is something that was expected. The president had been rallying his base for days now to show up today, to turn out and to show up in full support of your opposition to the election result. So this was definitely expected. And many people are asking why law enforcement officials weren't more prepared. Now, this is not to cast blame in any way on officials.
Yeah,
it
should be blame.
If you knew that there was going to be a
they should have had more security. Today,
why didn't you have those safety measures in place? Why wasn't there more personnel on the ground? Why weren't there barricades set up? So again, some of the things that we're hearing right now, this of course will be answered in the coming days. Right now, the focus at hand is restoring order outside the Capitol building as those crowds continue to move away from the Capitol. We see officials there on the ground working on those efforts, and perhaps that will happen sooner than later tonight before that curfew. We'll send it back to you.
So, Karine, that video is kind of unclear where that shot came from. I mean, you would assume maybe Capitol Police officer got in a confrontation, but that was just like a mob of people that were trying to bust through a glass window, and one of those people was shot.
Right. They were trying to break through some closed door. I don't know if there was a barricade that was set up, because we heard earlier reports today, desperate calls coming out from police on the ground inside the Capitol saying that we are outnumbered, we need help, we need more resources. So it may have been one of those desperate moments where they saw the crowd on the other side, they had been barricaded. We don't know if there were any congressional leaders on the other side in that room that security personnel were trying to protect, but obviously it was a desperate moment where the crowd on the other side, they weren't yielding. In fact, they were breaking away at that glass, and officials had to resort to violence to push back that crowd, firing that shot or perhaps multiple shots and seeing that person go down.
All right, Karine, we thank you for that, and we'll get back to you in just a bit. And again, you're looking at live images outside the U.S. Capitol. And again, that curfew is looming now in less than an hour, coming up at 3 o'clock our time, and still a lot of protesters outside the Capitol, on the ground, as well as on the steps leading up to the main entrance. Of course, a lot of this is playing out today on social media, and Mark Mester has been monitoring that. Mark?
Yeah, Glenn, as you see these images unfold on your screen, and as officers do reportedly, at least at one point, have their guns drawn inside of the Capitol. Right now, we're getting our eyes on some brand new video. It shows what it looked like when what started out as demonstrators then turned to vandals stormed the Capitol. That was late this morning here on the West Coast. It was on the afternoon during the East Coast. We want to take a look at what that looked like. Here's the image.
Oh, wow. Oh. Oh, my God. They're running after the police when he's running. Oh, my God. Oh. Oh my God. He leading them right into place. Oh my God.
You can see what appears to be that Capitol Hill officer right there showing restraint with that baton in his hand. Demonstrators, again, they're what started as demonstrators now turned to vandals, alleged criminals at this point. We also have some more video of what it looked like when they made entry into the building. Glass was shattered before they got inside the Capitol. Here's a look at what that looked like. Also getting some new video, it'll show you outside the Capitol. Officers appear to be using pepper spray on the demonstrators.
Oh, wow.
And the big question for so many is, what was it like for the folks who were inside the Capitol building? GOP Representative John Curtis represents the state of
ran
Utah.
over the
He was
policeman.
barricaded inside of his office,
Dang.
and he posted this video to Twitter.
I just appeal to all the good people of this country to dial it down. I saw what happened to my good friend Mitt Romney. Just totally inappropriate what's happening outside the Capitol. It's not who we are. We're better than this. And please, let's use all of our influence to tone this down and get back to reasonable debate. And I think we can then move forward as we need to do as a country.
So we've heard from the President of the United States. He sent out these tweets that was earlier this afternoon saying, please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They're truly on the side of our country. Stay peaceful. I'm asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue. Thank you. The President also put out a video. Twitter has since restricted that video. You can't comment on it. You can't like it. You can't retweet it.
That's right.
For fear that violence could erupt because of the message being shared. That's an important fact that we wanted to point out. And then again, another interesting development regarding all of this, we have been keeping our eyes on the markets, and surprisingly, the Dow Jones Industrial Average turning positive 437 points despite the violence at our nation's capital. We'll have more on these images coming up throughout this afternoon, but for now, Mark Messer, I'm live in studio.